Welcome back, folks. This is our new. We haven't named it yet, but this is a new show.
We're working through it.
By the time we go live, we'll have a name for it. We promise. It'll be something.
Yeah.
We're like unfiltered, uncensored, safe talk, mindful moments. I love it all. I don't know what it's gonna be yet. What up, Walt? What's good tonight?
Yeah, I'm excited for tonight, man. I'm excited for
Yeah,
tonight's
me too.
conversation. Looking forward to it. Really looking to really get into it and have a healthy dialogue, maybe even a little bit of debate about stuff and stuff like that.
We're debating with ourselves, but yeah, because we
But
both
yeah,
feel the same way. So it's but but boom, let's get right into it. On this episode, we're going to talk about this controversial topic of to get the CPP or to not get the CPP. I think as payroll professionals, we all struggle with it, and like where I think where the longer you go without it, the more you feel like I don't need it. But then you have those days, right? What do you think? Well,
yeah. Well, absolutely. It's like it definitely has an impact when you're applying or looking for advancement, right?
but
It
does
definitely
how do
has
you know that? You don't know. Oh, what do you mean?
I
Impact on your own psyche or
I think in multiple ways, right? Because like I know we had someone, I forgot, one of our guests when
Mhm.
we were talking about this. I think maybe behind the scenes we were talking about this aspect, and she was saying like how one of her friends was applying for a job and wasn't getting anything, and then she got her CPP, and then all of a sudden avalanche.
yeah, yeah.
So that's my standpoint is yes, there's definitely some benefit to it. But I don't when I look at us, neither of us are certified. We've taken the test.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we didn't pass it. I've taken it twice and failed it. And so I've known other people that we've talked to that have taken it uh, a couple of times or a few times and failed it. And they're still successful
Yeah.
in this role. They still know their stuff. They're still on top of their game. They're stars in their craft.
Yep.
Yeah, like I think it's it's almost like back in the day. Well, even now, they say, hey, you need to have a degree in order to,
It's
you know,
that's also a good debate. Yeah,
you know what I'm
exactly.
saying? It's like in the same vein, in my opinion, right? This
Well,
is
yeah, it's in the same vein. It is in the same vein, but not as yep. Not I think the degrees they've made it more of a barrier in the past, like you said.
absolutely.
Uh, but that was a hard barrier, right? Like with payroll jobs, I've seen in my past, like when it's time for me to start looking again, and when I moved and all these things, I would see some jobs go from CPP required, right, to
For
CPP preferred.
yeah,
Because look, at the end of the day, there's millions of payroll jobs, and I think we tried to capture the number one time, and is only in the thousands in the tens of thousands of CPP folks that
yeah,
are certified, right?
yeah,
Because that information is available, and we know. So there's a huge gap between certified and uncertified.
yeah,
So the po- the jobs, y- if you're not finding talent because you have that CP filter or FPC, I don't want to discount the FPC.
yeah,
Just know, folks, that we're talking about both, right? Let's go ahead and certification. It's both. I'm not disrespecting either. Like then you see that filter, like it opens up the pool when they take that filter, or when it's preferred, it's boom. Now the pool is open, and whoa, you know what I mean? So it's such a tough topic to talk about because of that. You have so many people that are successful without it.
yeah,
And then yet we get these horror stories and these scary stories, and we talk to folks and we feel a certain way. we feel away because they're certified or they're having trouble finding work because they're not certified or whatever. I took it too and I failed. But in my defense, like I just walked in on it. I didn't really practice. I didn't really do the practice that they recommend via all of the guides. Like even Lindsay, when we talked to her, she was like 3 to 6 months that she studied for it. And that's the norm that I hear 3 to 6 months of studying in preparation for the test. And as soon as you finish studying, you need to take the test. You have to time it that as soon as you finish studying, you take the test. I just walked in and took it. I got a 270 and you need a 300. And that was painful. And I've heard other people get 295.
Literally points away. That's the
That
worst.
I'm like, I feel better at my 270 because I knew like there was a whole gap. And what was good, like it told you where you went, where you didn't do well. And I still have it on my phone, like the sections. And this is in many iPhones later, but I pulled it through on my notes always. And it's like my main note. It's still like my main note that I use in life. And the header is CPP, but it's not. It's just like a reminder constantly. But it's that double-edged sword because we get to a point where we're like, we're pretty successful without it. Look, we prepared some stuff. We're gonna play both sides. We're gonna touch on some of the reason, benefits of having it, as
Yeah,
opposed to how you still can be successful without it.
absolutely.
So
Yeah.
go ahead, Walt. Take us through a couple of these, and we'll bounce back and forth here.
All right. So we're going to talk about the benefits of
Benefits of having it. Yep.
having it, right? So the number one is you gain enhanced knowledge and skills. Payroll certifications provide a comprehensive understanding of payroll processes, laws, regulations, and best practices. They cover topics such as payroll calculations, tax compliance, benefits, administration, record keeping, and payroll software. By acquiring this knowledge, you become better equipped to handle complex tasks and navigate legal requirements. See, when it says that, I feel like if you're good at your job as a payroll professional, you're going to develop those skills anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah. Yeah. That one is very matter of fact. And the flip side of that is on the other side of this when we talk about how to be successful without it, because you're right. Like the next one, you get professional credibility, right? But
I
this
see
is
you have something bold here.
I have problems with this one, right? Because it says, a payroll certification demonstrates your commitment to your profession and validates your expertise. Fake news. I don't believe that to be true. And the word validate is what catches me up. Now you're saying I'm only
It's how they worded
validated
it.
in my
It's how they
skills.
worded it.
Right.
Well, for their personal experience is saying it validates the person who took the test or passed it and obtained the certification. That's how I'm reading it.
I don't read it that way. So I'm offended by it. The next one too, it says employers often value certified professionals as they can rely on their up-to-date knowledge and adherence to industry standards. Again,
I think that's true. But I think
no. But see, yes, it's true. But what are you saying? That non-certified are not?
that's not what I'm saying.
We're talking about the benefits of being certified. So what are we saying? If you're this, then you're not. If you're not,
let me finish. So what I'm saying is that I'm saying that employers often do value that, which is what the point I made earlier about the person who wasn't getting any traction with their applications, all of a sudden got her certification, and then the floodgates open. In my opinion, that's because those employers value that.
fair, but I could discount that too. the time, it could be just coincidence in the time frame that she looked without it to the time frame she looked with it. Different employers would it, it you know what I mean? Again, this is why this is a good conversation. The last one I did agree with, it can help you stand out from non-certified candidates and boost your credibility among colleagues, clients, and stakeholders. Now that is a fact. Okay. That it's matter of fact. The other things are opinion to me. That's all I'm saying. Like the other things are opinion to me. And that's what gets me. I get offended.
Yeah, and I get what you're saying. I can see your side of it, but I can also see the other side of it too. It is more of an opinionated statement for the first two. And the last one is more kind of concrete. Yes, it can help you stand out from non-certified
It
candidates.
absolutely will. It not can, it will. Right. That's a fact.
Yeah,
Now,
but I got you real quick. Is that doesn't that last statement kind of coincide to what it says, why employers will often value certified professionals because it helps you stand out against the non-certified ones?
no. It having it makes you stand out. Companies valuing the CPP, that's separate.
Yes.
It's separate.
Okay.
So we can come back to it, but look, the next one, because if not, we'll get stuck on this show all night. Career advancement. This I thought was a fact. Payroll certifications can open doors to career advancement opportunities.
Yep.
Yes, they can provide a competitive edge when applying for promotions and seeking higher level payroll positions. Yes, certified professionals may have access to a broader range of job opportunities and may be eligible. This is redundant. Same shit again. Yes. Yes. Having it is better than not having it at the end of the day. Right. But it doesn't mean that it doesn't guarantee success. And I think that's what some of the stuff that kind of leans to that is what bothers me. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Um,
because I get what you're saying. It makes it seem like everybody else who doesn't have is in a way subpar.
yeah. Yeah.
So I get what you're saying.
This next one, networking opportunity was meh. This is just filler nonsense. Okay, you're open. Sure, networking opportunities is what you make it. Just because you have something doesn't. Yes, okay, it gets you in the door at CPP only things,
Well,
but
look at us. We can use ourselves for examples as two payroll professionals who have a podcast or starting their own business. We're connected with multiple contacts and people throughout
yeah,
all the payroll industry,
yep.
all over. So I think it's about getting out, reaching out to people. What's up?
No, I'm gonna write it down. Go ahead.
Like it's about taking the initiative and just reaching out and like actually going out to people and like trying to connect with them. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm. Yep. Yep. Fine. I
Mhm.
mean, look, again, I think it was just a fluff thing for why you should have it. The last one, I had said a bunch of things I'm having trouble with here too. Professional development, maintaining a payroll certification often requires ongoing professional development through continuing ed and recertification. Facts. It forces you to do it, right? You have to get recertified. So that's a cool thing, right? You have to keep getting recertified. That's really all it does. It forces a little bit of professional development, whatever. What else does it say? This ensures that the certified professional stays up. This ensures that they stay up to date on the latest changes in pay. No, it does not. Does not ensure that because you can go through these. You can just go through the motions on the certification stuff. All you have to do is take classes. Like you can get on a webinar for an hour, go on autopilot, watch TV, click yes, and boom, you're through your class. It doesn't get you didn't absorb that shit, right? You got to be good at what you do to absorb. So that's why I have a problem with that statement. Fake news. Continuing learning and professional development can contribute to your long-term success and keep you relevant in the field. Facts. And must be done regardless of certification. That's my add to it. Like, yes, but you got to do that anyway to be a good payroll professional. So I get it's almost getting to the point where like everything they say is to have you have it, you have to do it anyway, regardless. So
To be successful, right? You have to.
to be good, yes. I don't even know if you to be successful. I don't know, but to be good at it, because what you just sent me the other day about confident spoken people who are the most confident are not always the most competent.
Yeah, that's true. Mhm.
So it doesn't guarantee it doesn't mean like it does. What is it? Relevant success keep you relevant long
No,
term. I don't
I was saying like to have success just in general as a payroll professional, you got to do that
yes,
stuff anyway.
exactly.
Not saying that you'll be successful because we had a conversation with someone and I forget who it was, but they said that they know people who have their certification
Yep,
and they're struggling.
yep.
Their
And they
job,
can't
like
do basic payroll stuff things.
yeah,
You really book smart, and then we're gonna
yeah,
get to this. We're gonna get to that concept too. And then
yeah,
before we leave this area,
yeah.
my comment is it doesn't even exist in other countries. It doesn't exist in the UK. The CPP is American based. And so what happens to the person? I don't know. I'm just saying. I'm just getting angry.
No, no,
Just
no,
getting
no.
worked up.
I get it because the way that this some of the stuff that they worded could have been taken like, hey, let my chop liver over here.
Yeah.
As a payroll professional, I've been in this like 2+ decades and stuff. So,
Right.
no, like, have I not made changes? Have I not come highly recommended? Have I not excelled and stuff? My,
Implemented payroll systems,
yeah.
executed payroll properly, kept it
Mhm.
under a certain error level. Yes. All right.
But
So
I get why it fuels your fire, man. It pushes your buttons. I get it.
yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So
Big time.
that's without a payroll certification. While the certification can provide certain, I said several, but I'll say certain advantages. It is possible to succeed in the payroll field without one.
Yeah.
We're a testament to that, people.
Absolutely.
Here are some of the factors that can contribute to success, even without a certification. Number one, experience.
Yeah.
Gaining practical experience in payroll management is highly valuable, demonstrating a track record, successfully handling payroll responsibilities, managing complex payroll systems, and ensuring compliance can be just as compelling to employers as the certification.
As it should be.
Yeah. People,
As it
people should be able to look at your CV or your resume and wow, look at all the stuff this person's done, all the
Mhm.
experience that they have, all the implementations, all the different systems, all the different functions, the C-suite consultations, all these different things that you have done over your career can be really impressive
Mhm.
to people.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Number two, the transferable skills. Skills such as attention to detail, analytical thinking, problem solving, time management, effective communication are crucial for success in payroll management. Building and showcasing these skills through work experience and accomplishments can help you succeed regardless of certification status. That goes back to the point that we were talking about developing those skills.
Yep.
So no matter where you go in life, in the payroll world universe, you are going to rock it.
Yep.
You are going to kill it. You're going to kill the game. People are going to be like, wow, this person really knows their stuff. Jeez.
Makes
They're
you
all
think about Adrian Resto when he said that manager taught him how to do not only do payroll where you are, do payroll where you're going.
Yep. Yep.
So the transferable skills piece, because how many juniors have we come across that, oh, I do payroll, I do payroll, I do payroll. And then we put them to the test and they're like, do you sure you did payroll?
Yep. And number three, this is the part for me that I guess out of all of these, all of them are important, but if you do this one, you're gonna
Yes.
uh,
This is the key to the
continuous
job. Yes.
continuous learning. What were you gonna say?
That's the key to the job,
Right?
regardless of certification.
Yeah.
You can't, right? You can't stay unlearned. Unlearned. You
Unlimited.
cannot. Yeah. Learned. I didn't know learned was a word. When I heard my boss say it one time, I was like, learned. I had to look it up, and I was like, oh, she's really speaking right. Anywho,
You
that
too many D's.
yeah. Continuous learning that's the whole key to this, right? If you want
Mhm.
to be good at this, you have to stay learning about stuff. You have to stay researching the states, researching compliance. We talk about what makes a well-rounded payroll person all the time.
Yep.
That has to be maintained regardless of certification.
You have to, in a way, and maybe you can describe it in a better way, but I feel like no matter what level you get to in payroll, you have to remain teachable.
Absolutely.
Whether that's teachable to yourself, you have to be able to receive that knowledge no matter who the source is, whether that's you reading something, whether somebody's talking to you or at you, whether you're listening to a webinar, it's a TED talk, you're going to payroll congress, or you're going to unleash. No matter
Yep.
what it is, you have to remain teachable.
Yep. Yep. Mm.
Number 4 says professional
Professional
network.
network against same BS. Like, yes, you're in a club. There's a brotherhood of non-professional. There's a brotherhood of not certified. And there's a brotherhood of certified. Well, okay,
It, it, it,
okay,
it, they know their stuff and you're connected
yep,
with them. It's going to be beneficial for you as
exactly
a
right,
young professional, even
exactly
if you
right.
don't have your certification. A lot of the people that we've had on as guests, a handful of them, one or two, I think a couple of them have had the CPP.
Oh yeah. At the end of the day, folks, there's no conclusion. Both paths are still realistic for now.
When you say that,
What
what
do
do
you
you mean?
mean? What do you mean?
No, no, I'm
Well,
asking you because I know you will. Both paths have realistic success
yeah,
in them. That's what you mean?
yeah,
Okay.
yes, yes, exactly what I'm sorry. Yes, that's what I mean. You can be successful either way. Because at the end of the day, let's not forget the APA created the CPP, right? It's not that this is an entity that just made it up. At the end of the day, folks, right? It's not like the bar to get you to do practice law. It's not like an MD to practice medicine. Those things you have to get to practice that, right? This is we don't have to get it to practice. So I think until that changes, will this argument still exist?
Absolutely.
This conversation will stay relevant, or it goes away. I'm not neither for or against it. It's just a matter of fact in our world. And then, like you said, AI is going to continue to impact this stuff. So what happens then? How does that change the plane? The cybersecurity has to be rolled into this CPP. Like it's not aging well. The CPP has to age a little better, has to update for that.
Yep. AI, I think aspects of
AI, both
AI
right. Yes.
learning
Yep.
has to be rolled in.
It's in tandem.
Cybersecurity
It's
has to
right.
be
It's
rolled
both.
in
Yes, both.
because everybody's on this AI kick and it's just there's an AI explosion now that's going
Yep.
on. There's an AI explosion that's going on and all this stuff is just going to be expanding. I think we've only seen the tip of the iceberg
Oh, heck yeah.
when it comes to
They're
AI.
just starting to train bots and train AI, machine learning and all that stuff. Like it
Skynet,
is the tip, absolutely this tip of the
Skynet for
iceberg.
payroll.
But so politicians are already trying to counter that, and they're state by state, they're having issues with AI and they're trying to limit how it's progressing. We'll see. We'll see. We may not be allowed to do certain things going forward because of the fear of Skynet, the fictional Skynet. We're talking about Terminator, folks. It's in for those fans. Yeah, for those of you who know what it is. If not, it's the fictional Skynet and the robots take over. So one thing here that is worth talking about is the test taking abilities, right? Because some of
Mhm.
the folks that we hear, they say, I'm a bad test taker. And okay, sure. But it's worth noting that labeling someone as a bad test taker may not accurately reflect their overall knowledge, right? I think that's what we got to keep in mind. Some individuals may excel at alternative forms of assessment and
Yeah,
different ways to take tests in these skills. So if they made the
that's fair.
tests to go along with standardized testing, then yeah, the same folks who have trouble with the SAT and all this stuff are going to have trouble with this test.
Yeah, but because everyone learns in a different
Yep.
way, right?
Yep.
And everybody tests in a different way. Doesn't mean that somebody else can kill somebody else's test score when it comes to that aspect, but you sit them down in front of a payroll system and tell them to figure out, the
Yep.
other person might be able to figure it out more
Where's
than
the
you.
book?
Okay,
Right.
perfect. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
So like it just depends on the individual, right? At the end of the day. So yes, I love that point that you put in there. Just because you might be a bad test taker doesn't equate to you being a bad payroll professional.
Exactly. Exactly.
I'm
Yep.
telling you, I failed it twice. I think I did better the first time than I did the second. I was like,
Oh
well,
my
I'm going in the wrong direction.
yeah, for real. But again, because it's really, eh, I have trouble with it because it really is just one of those things where there's most of the stuff that I took on that test, like you don't even use in day to day practice. It's nice to know the concepts and understand that, and I guess, but you're gonna get good anyway. If you want to be good at payroll, you're gonna get good at payroll regardless of the test.
Absolutely, and I can understand your frustration. I don't even think I shared this with you. There was an interview that I went to one time. I think it was in Pittsburgh for a payroll position, and I had to meet a bunch of different people
Oh
in
wow!
the boardrooms, and they brought
All at one time.
yes,
Jeez.
they were all asking me questions, and the topic of certification came up, and I was like, no, I'm not certified taking it. I just haven't passed it, but I have extensive payroll experience, stuff like that, as my resume shows. And the only response they gave was like, "Oh, that's unfortunate,"
Yeah.
and I didn't get the job.
Yep. Because
And
they wanted that filter. They
yeah,
wanted that credential.
so that's the thing that kind of resonated with me when it says the benefits of getting the certification. If I
Correct.
had that,
Sure.
maybe I would have been considered. I may not have gotten the job still,
Right. But you would have been more
but
considered. Yep.
yeah, but like
Exactly.
for the person to say that in the interview, well, that's unfortunate. Like,
Yeah. You knew there. Shit. There you go. I lost this. Yep. You how do they say that you stack your chances, you increase your chance? Sure, absolutely, it increase your chances. But look, just the way is m my degree or not degree, did that help me? You know what I mean? I don't know. W We've gotten to the same point in payroll. You don't have a degree, I have a degree. How did I did it make a difference? Doesn't seem like it, you
I,
know?
I went to a payroll school in the military for 6 months where they taught you how to do
That's pretty cool. You
payroll.
could that's on your resume, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, that looks pretty cool then. See, that's how
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
I went to a payroll school and they literally taught you for months before that you went to your main station. They taught you for months there. Everything is different, right? And you had to pass tests and you had to pass a class.
Ah,
Otherwise, you had to stay there. So I passed the class.
see, you should have, and then in that interview, you should have been like, no, but I was rigorously trained in the military and blah. You should have good and that dude, they would have been like, oh wow,
Yeah,
maybe who knows? Look, if they have the filter, they have the filter. You know what I mean? Like I was at a, I worked for a human resources director once, and we would open a job search, and he was like, they must have a bachelor's, and I was like, why? He's like, because I just want the filter. I don't want to do what anybody else without. What?
You could bypass a lot of good people that way.
Heck yeah. A
A lot of
ton. What about what they got their associates and they're working on the bachelor's? What if they just been doing it for 20 years? What does that? We're gonna pass up on it. It's arbitrary. That's annoying. You know what I mean? It's annoying.
I knew this mechanic guy that I was friends with back in the day. His dad worked on cars and he was great. Everybody came to him to fix their car because he knew how to work on cars. No matter
Yeah,
what
for
type
sure.
of car it was, he knew. Hey, you need this part, you need this, you need that, you need this. But I think even mechanics now have certifications or schools, like trade school type of situation you can go to. The reason I'm bringing it up is because he had trouble because he was trying to get a
He didn't
job
have
as a
any
mechanic
certifications.
and he didn't have any type of official school. And he was like, yeah, my dad taught me.
No doubt. Learning in the garage. Yep.
But that taught me. So it's just, it was good for you. That's good. It's a good story, but
That-
in a nutshell for this show, if you feel like you want to get your certification because you feel like it'll be beneficial to you, go ahead and do that. Go ahead and
Yes.
do the damn thing then, right?
Yes. Absolutely.
But
Absolutely.
if you feel like you want to progress without it and you've been doing well without it, keep progressing, keep learning. As we say,
So even if you don't have the CPP, continuing education is a must. Like we said here,
yes,
continuing learning, regardless of category, that is the one mandate for payroll professionals. You must continue to learn.
no matter
Whatever
what.
it is, you take your webinars. All of your vendors give free education, so you take advantage of that. The
There's
companies
fi-
should be paying for your continuing education, so you should not have to come out of pocket for it. There are a ton of webinars out there to take with us.
yes. Yeah, there's even some episodes on our podcast you can learn from.
Oh, heck yeah. Oh, gosh. If you listen to the show, you would learn a ton. We got people that come on and teach us stuff. Stay on LinkedIn and read, because everybody in payroll on LinkedIn is always sharing information, you know. So that's the good thing about it, because we are a sharing bunch, but there is no one resource. Is a cultivating and curating a combination of resources.
And I think somebody said that. I forget who it was. I have an idea, but I'm not
No,
gonna.
don't blow them up anyway. That's fine. Then keep it
I'm not blowing
anonymous.
them up. But they said Google. Right?
Yeah.
Google
Yeah.
is that's
Well,
the ultimate. Like
it is.
there's tons of stuff, but you got to make sure it's legit. Of course, you have to
Right. You
verify
gotta
it's
know.
legit.
You gotta validate your sources.
But
Any research through Google, really.
even on YouTube, you got to validate all that stuff because there's tons of fake stuff out there, right?
And again, you have to stay continuous learning, and that's it, folks. That's it.
Very, very good debate, man. Very good, healthy
Yeah.
debate, man.
Yeah.
And seeing both sides, and people were able to hear how you thought about it, how I thought about it. Now that you've heard that, what are you thinking as a listener? What are your
Yeah.
thoughts?
Share your thoughts.
Let us know.
Send us some stories. That's it, folks. Yeah, man. Thanks for joining. Thanks for your time, sir. As always, peace. We love you.
Peace.